Do you remember the first time Happy Feet tapped its way into your life? Maybe you were a kid, or maybe you were already grown. But something about that tiny penguin with the big heart, dancing like the world depended on it, just stuck with you. It wasn't just a movie, it was a feeling, a warm, icy feeling of rhythm, innocence, and hope. A film that made us believe, even for a moment, that dancing could save the world. And despite how huge Happy Feet was, despite the Oscar win, the viral soundtrack, the cultural impact, most people don't actually know what went on behind the scenes. Until now. Today, we're diving into 10 facts you absolutely didn't know about Happy Feet. These are the stories the internet barely talks about that make you see the movie in a whole new way. Now, let's cha-cha slide right into the magic. First, it all starts with music. Let's talk about the Prince songs. 1. The day Prince said, "Absolutely not," then changed cinema history. You might think it's hard to imagine Prince, the Purple One himself, allowing one of his songs to grace an animated penguin movie. And you wouldn't be wrong. Imagine being George Miller, the director of Happy Feet, asking Prince to use Kiss in your animated movie about dancing penguins. Prince didn't just decline. He reportedly said, "No, absolutely not." And honestly, who could blame him? At the time, giving away your biggest hits to an animated movie wasn't common. It felt risky, it felt weird. But everything changed once Prince saw early footage of Happy Feet. He didn't just approve the use of Kiss, he loved the movie so much that he wrote an original song specifically for it, the Song of the Heart, which plays during the closing credits. Happy Feet didn't just license Prince's music, it inspired Prince to create. Most fans don't know they're dancing to a song written solely because the Penguin movie touched the Purple legend himself. And speaking of legends, Happy Feet holds the final performance of another icon, whose legacy still makes the world emotional today. 2. Steve Irwin's final curtain call lives inside this movie. If you grew up with Animal Planet, you would know Steve Irwin. He wasn't just a TV personality, he was everyone's wildlife uncle. Happy Feet holds a special emotional weight because it contains Steve Irwin's final film performance before his tragic passing in 2006. In the movie, he voiced an elephant seal filled with that iconic Irwin energy, warm, enthusiastic, and bursting with life. It wasn't supposed to be his last moment on film, but it ended up being exactly that. And because his contribution meant so much, the filmmakers dedicated the entire movie to him, which leads us straight into a detail most people don't know. 3. The deleted scene. They added as a tribute after he passed. There's a hidden gem on the Happy Feet DVD, one most fans have never seen. In this deleted scene, Mumble meets a blue whale and an albatross, and Steve Irwin voices the albatross himself.
Street, who you think took out the whale?
Originally, the scene wasn't meant to be included anywhere, but after Irwin's death, the team decided to finish, polish, and release it on DVD as a tribute. It's rare for an animated film to complete a deleted scene after an actor's passing. But that's how deeply Irwin's spirit touched the Happy Feet crew. And while we're talking about tributes, the next fact shows that even the penguin parents you grew up loving were tributes too. 4. The penguins are secretly Marilyn Monroe and Elvis Presley. Norma Jean and Memphis aren't just cute names. They're purposeful tributes. They're references to Marilyn Monroe, whose legal name is Norma Jean Mortensen, and Elvis Presley, who lived in Memphis. It wasn't subtle either. Their vocal tone, their movements, their charm, everything was designed to feel like Marilyn and Elvis. Memphis has Elvis's swagger, and Norma Jean has Monroe's soft warmth. The filmmakers wanted to give the penguins a sense of old Hollywood nostalgia, the glamour and charisma of icons who shaped pop culture. And they did just that. They created two penguin parents who felt bigger than life, even though they were covered in feathers.
So where's the baby?
Well, I'll find him.
But speaking of stars, one legendary performer didn't just inspire a character. he literally became Mumble. 5. Mumble's dance moves came from a real tap legend. If Mumble's dancing ever felt too good to be animated, that's because it wasn't. Every adorable tap from Mumble came from real motion-captured dancing. The filmmakers hired Savion Glover, one of the world's greatest tap dancers, to perform every single one of Mumble's dance moves via motion capture. So when you see Mumble shimmy, stomp, drag, shuffle, or break into those lightning-fast taps, that's Savion himself digitized right into penguin form. The animators used this real human rhythm to give the penguins weight, personality, bounce, swagger. And if you thought the dancing stopped there, wait until you see how culturally deep the choreography went. 6. The penguin choreography mixed Zulu, hip-hop, Irish, and tap. Happy Feet isn't just a dancing movie. It's a celebration of global movement. It wasn't just tap. It was Zulu dance traditions, Irish step dancing, hip-hop influences, and classic American tap. Each penguin group has its own distinct culture. Even if you didn't consciously notice it, your brain must have felt it. These penguins danced like communities, not cartoons. Their dances reflect their personalities, their traditions, and even their social structures. Most animated films keep choreography simple. Happy Feet said, "Let's turn these penguins into a world dance community." And while the dancing blew everyone away, the visuals of Antarctica are what pulled us into the world, because they're way more real than you think. 7. Antarctica. Looked real because it was real. Most animated films invent their worlds from scratch, but not Happy Feet. The icy world wasn't just imagination. George Miller, the director, wanted the world to feel raw, cold, and untouched. So the team studied real Antarctic footage, photos, and documentaries to build the film's landscapes. Everything from the glittering ice shelves to the cold blue lighting were built directly from real Antarctic reference materials. This accuracy is why the film feels grounded, even during its wild dance numbers. The world never feels fake because it's based on the real one. But the moment they tried to bring Mumble into that realistic world, a new problem appeared, and it almost broke the studio. 8. Mumble's feathers nearly broke the entire animation pipeline. Fans joke about Mumble and his millions of feathers, but behind the scenes, that line was terrifyingly accurate. Mumble's plumage, soft, fluffy, layered, reflective, and constantly in motion, became one of the hardest technical challenges in the entire production. Every tiny fiber of feather had to move independently, reflect light realistically. Has to move with dance, wind, motion, water, emotion, and touch. It took so much power and time that several shots had to be re-rendered over and over. The rendering computers were pushed to their limit. The crew had to build new tools with custom technology just to handle Mumble's fluff. So when you see Mumble slide through the snow or dance in the wind, just know the studio was sweating behind the scenes. All that effort definitely paid off, because this next fact is one of the proudest victories in animation history. 9. Happy Feet became a non-Disney giant and won an Oscar. Back in the early 2000s, Disney and Pixar owned the animation category. Nobody could beat them. But then came a group of tap-dancing penguins who said, "Move." Happy Feet became the first major non-Disney/Pixar film of its era to win the Oscar for Best Animated Feature. It shocked everyone. It proved animated films outside the Disney empire could compete and even dominate. It was a victory not just for the film, but for the entire animation world. But to win an Oscar against giants, you need more than charm, you need ambition. And that leads us to the final fact. 10. Happy Feet was a massive technical experiment. Everything about Happy Feet was a risk. Motion capture had never been used this extensively in family animation. Real-world accurate Antarctica had never been done at this scale. Full dance choreography in an animal movie was unheard of. and millions of feathers made no sense. This movie was one big experiment, and nobody knew if it would work. But because they pushed so hard, the film became a blueprint for future animated storytelling. With a production budget of $100 million, it grossed almost $400 million worldwide. That's enough to motivate anyone. But not just that. It influenced how studios approached realism, movement, and digital cinematography for years. Happy Feet didn't just entertain, it reinvented what animation could look like. When you rewatch it now, knowing everything they pulled off, we hope you can experience even more magic. So those are 10 facts you didn't know about Happy Feet, 2006. A film that wasn't just cute, but groundbreaking. Shaped by legends, tributes, cultural dances, technological leaps, and a whole lot of heart. If you enjoyed this nostalgic deep dive, don't go anywhere. You need to check out our deep dive video on Monsters, Inc. The doors, the screams, the laughs, the Easter eggs, just go watch that next. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want more behind-the-scenes secrets of your favorite movies. See you in the next one, and remember, you gotta tap to live.